Welcome, everyone, to this episode of Delaware, our local podcast. My son, Ryan McCoy, and myself love to talk about wonderful things to do here in Sussex County, Delaware. And we are here today with Al and Mary Knight, otherwise known as the Frantics. They own Frantic Frets in Milton, and I cannot wait to hear about this place. We've read all about it. And so tell us a little bit about yourselves and how you came to Milton, Delaware.
Well, I'll let you go first, Al.
Me?
Yeah.
Mary dragged me here kicking and screaming. It's a long story. I was the do-it-all guy at a big school district in New Jersey. I was supervisor of communications at Patterson Public Schools. And I ran the PEG channel TV and Board of Ed meetings, did all that kind of crazy stuff. And then I took early retirement, and we weren't going to come this way initially. We've been like kind of scouting locations to semi-retire to. Mm-hmm. And, in typical fashion for people that end up here, we're sort of tax refugees. And
great reason to move to Delaware.
We love the water. Mary and I have been avid boaters and fishermen our entire adult lives, and here we are. And then Mary got a job down here, and that was the turning point that made us come here permanently. She worked right up the road, right,
Yeah,
Mary?
I did.
Where did you work?
I worked for the Center for the Inland Bays.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Very familiar with
And,
them.
It was part of my background. I worked for Hackensack Riverkeeper up in New Jersey, which was a clean water advocate. And we had purchased our house in Milton in 2016, mm-hmm. and we were down for the holidays. Our tenants in our apartment were supposed to be moving out. So I said, well, let me see if there's any job openings. And I threw my hat in the ring, not thinking they would hire me because I'm in New Jersey. And lo and behold, they did. So we had 5 weeks to kind of make up our mind and pack up and move.
Actually, it kind of went like this. She was driving home from the interview, and I got a phone call, and she's like, well, I don't know how it went. I don't think I did too well. And then her phone rang while we were talking,
later.
And they were like, "You're hired." Yeah, so that's how we ended up.
Well, that's awesome.
So I stayed with them for about a year, and our business was starting to pick up a little bit. And I took a part-time job as the director of the Historical Society in Milton, and I did that for a little over a year. And then business really started taking off. We had the pandemic, and that changed our whole world. So
Right. Well, so what's the evolution of Frantic Frets? So how did that start? Are you both musicians?
I'm a lifelong musician, and I'm a person who I work with my hands a lot. My dad was a really crafty guy. He was a machinist, an aircraft mechanic, and and I kind of grew up around manual things. Mm-hmm. Learned to work with my hands and tools and stuff. So now I'm a luthier. I'm a repairman of musical instruments. And yeah.
I'm a musician of a different sort. As a child, we had music school programs, and I wanted to join because I wanted to be part of music. And I told my dad I wanted an upright bass, and he came home with a violin. And I said, what's that? And he said, it's the same thing. Okay, well,
just
they kind of
water.
look alike. But,
it'll grow.
So I played classical violin for a long time, and I hated it. So,
oh, no.
I gave up music. And then when we met, I kind of got more involved in music. And
Mary dabbles in bass guitar, and she plays with me on and off. I do my acoustic thing. Sometimes she does percussion, and I have a gig with my band at Dogfish Head on Valentine's Day. She's going to come up and play bass on a couple of songs.
Oh, that's neat.
Nice.
With the band.
What's the name of your band?
It's the Al Frantic Band. I had that going since we came to Delaware. This is this area is a wellspring of musicians,
yes.
because of the resorts, and there's bands everywhere, and it was almost like it was easy to pick and choose, who I wanted to play with at a point, and the band itself was going the entire time. And then about 2 years ago, I sort of had enough of it because if you've ever done anything like that, running a band is like, I always say it's like herding cats. Right. And my bands are always small. I usually have a 3-piece band, and it was like herding cats. And even at my ripe age, and working with other people my age, it was still like working with 14-year-olds sometimes. So then I was doing solo acoustic guitar.
This wasn't directed at any of you guys.
Yeah, nobody listening. Nobody listening.
No. Au contraire. If you're listening, this is directed straight at you guys. They know.
And you know who you are.
So I put it to sleep for 2 years, and I got, I as a player and a singer, I missed playing electric guitar when I do the acoustic thing. It's acoustic and
but he does it so well.
Thank you, but I miss playing electric, so I kind of revived it, but I'm going to keep it on a very low key
basis.
The electric band would be maybe once a month or something like that.
Yeah. So your shop started around repair or sales?
Both. Yeah.
Okay. So, but it's evolved.
When I took the job here in Delaware, the idea was Mary would go off and bring home a paycheck and health benefits, which worked out really well. And Al was going to do this part-time, play a little music, maybe work on some guitars, maybe sell one once in a while. So there was no pressure. But then when the pandemic hit, suddenly we had to put our big boy pants on,
right?
And make it a viable business.
And now it's a monster.
And so
that's awesome.
My background is nonprofit work and business and marketing. So I kind of took all those skills, put them together, and said, okay, what can we do to make this work? So at the height of the pandemic, we were doing open mics outside. We have this big deck, we have a big parking lot, and total grassroots little house concerts we were doing. So you bring a chair, you brought your cooler, and we'd have these open mics where we're all socially distanced, people wore masks.
Right.
And so many people came to us and said, this was our saving grace through the pandemic, because we couldn't go anywhere, we couldn't be with people. We encouraged people to go to local restaurants, pick up food to bring and eat, support the liquor store, which they had no problem.
That didn't take much encouragement.
No. So
if you've ever seen our property where we do these things, I call it the Ewok Village because we have all these little buildings, including the house. We live in a tiny house in the back, and the business and the property it's a little weird and sprawling, and like I said, we have all these little buildings, but it does kind of lend itself to when we do those things. And our neighbors, right, Mary? Yeah. Our neighbors are aces. They really treat us well.
Yeah, so we have Fuel Automotive, the Betts Family Farm, and Lockwood Design and Storage. And when we do these pop-up concerts and open mics, they're more than happy to let us use their properties for parking. And
that's fantastic.
So
it could go the other way.
It could, but
that's great.
They really love seeing people come together, and it's very special.
That is very special. That is wonderful.
Weird, but special. It is. It's really weird.
But earlier when you introduced us, you said, our name is Knight and we're the Frantic. So how the whole Frantic franchise, I guess, started.
Oh yeah, that's a story in itself, right?
His band in New Jersey was Frantic Band. We would go to the supermarket. He always says we're supermarket celebrities. And
people say, "Wait, you're that guy. You're the guy with the guitar that sings it." Yeah, that's me. You're supermarket celebrity.
It's the
Home
Frantics.
Home Depot. Yeah, you never know.
That's neat. So anywhere we went. So when we bought our property, the idea was we would open up some kind of a store. And what are we going to call it? Well,
we're like
Frantic
avid. We're
Frets.
avid, like flea marketer kind of people. Not flea markets, antique shops and stuff. And we always had a half a notion to open a little, kind of novelty / antique place, and which we did. That's part of the business, but by and large, it's the music side. Yep. Yeah. Well, I thought you were going with the Frantic thing there. You were everybody wants to know the evolution of Frantic. Why are we Frantic? People say that's the coolest last name.
And everybody thinks it's our real last name.
And depending on my mood and how, I always like.
It's a different story for every mood.
I kind of go along with it. I'm like, yeah, isn't that something, man? Like you don't hear that name every day. Like, Mary always says we're on witness protection, but in reality, what Frantic is we grew like
a
Mary
way of
said,
life.
We grew up in the New York City area, and we had WPIX Channel 11, right? And they showed the Honeymooners at 11 o'clock every night.
Right.
Every night. And we're like huge Honeymooners fans. So there's an episode of the Honeymooners where Ralph and Alice are kind of, they're playing, I don't know what you would call it, but there's teenagers that live in their building, and they want to meet up for a date. So the young woman is waiting for the young man to come and pick her up at the Cramden's apartment. And when he comes, when he gets there, he comes inside and he wants to get going. And he calls, what does he call her? Angel cakes or something like that. And he goes, I got a Frantic hot rod downstairs and it's ready to percolate. That's what he says. So we decided when I started the band was the Frantic Hot Rods. And my partners and I in the band, like, we kind of dug that name, but we decided that the Hot Rods part made it sound too rockabilly, and that's not what we were at all. We were kind of like 70s hard rock and stuff like that. And so we just dropped the Hot Rods part. And now you know the rest of the story.
And now we know the rest of the story, depending on what mood you're in. That was the real story.
The real story.
That's the real story for
So if you
today.
hear anything else, it's false.
Yeah.
So whatever he says to you.
But it stuck. It became us. It became, because, oh yeah, you're the guy in that band. You're Al Frantic. They just kind of just glued it together like it was a surname, and it stuck. And now it is. So we actually considered, we talked about legally changing our name to Frantic. And
Wouldn't you just go with it?
See, neither one of us really want to be buried in a cemetery, but how cool would it be to walk through a cemetery 100 years from now and go, oh, look, there's the Frantic.
The Frantics.
But that's it too, because if we had done that, like my ancestors, my father, he'd be spinning in his cremation urn, they would haunt us. So I couldn't do that.
Couldn't do that. Well, you could haunt with them.
Yeah.
At that point. So did we hear that you have shop puppies? Do you have doggies in your shop? We are big dog fans.
Are you?
Cool.
Oh.
Big dog fans.
We always have been.
Yeah,
for the longest time, what we did was we were greyhound people. We adopted retired racers.
We had 3 greyhounds at one time.
Yeah.
And when we came to Delaware,
special.
we had 1 greyhound. She was the last one. She made it past her 16th birthday.
Almost to 17
wow.
years.
And
Wow.
she was a really, really special, smart greyhound.
In case you don't know, greyhounds live on average like 10 years.
Yeah.
She made it to almost 17.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And when we came, we had Sarah and Cindy. And after we were here for about a year, a friend of mine was fostering this dog that kept getting returned.
Oh.
So we drove up to New Jersey, and
They're Chihuahua mixes, both of them.
Oh, yes.
So we went from these giant horse-like creatures to these tiny,
a
weird...
Chiweenie and a Chihuahua Italian Greyhound.
Oh,
my God.
And the Chihuahua Italian Greyhound's name is Little Dog.
Little dog.
And Little Dog has
but
a
those
big
little
attitude.
Chihuahuas have big dog attitudes.
Oh, yeah. She's
When they
so
want to.
evil.
Yeah.
She's so evil, yet so lovable.
Yeah.
And she's usually the one barking when you come into the store. You'll hear her.
She's like your mean, cranky, smoking old aunt who, you love. You
Right.
love just because, she's a quantity that you have to learn to love, and we love her, yeah. And the other one's just the sweetest dog on earth. We don't always have to defend her to people.
Right.
She's
usually
really
nice,
nice.
but
So that's what we live in a tiny house. We have tiny dogs now.
We have a long history with animal rescue. For about 10 years, we volunteered and worked with a local group up in New Jersey and WDHA Radio, our friend Terry Carr. And they're the ones responsible for our first little dog,
Yeah.
Sarah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it's great that she found a home.
Well, the main animal rescue that was associated with the radio station was 11th Hour Rescue, who only take in dogs from kill shelters.
Uh-huh.
And when we got Sarah, when we got, you want to talk this much about the dogs? You get me going.
'Cause we're very passionate.
We love
We love our
dogs.
dogs. So when we got Sarah from the radio station, we were WDHA was nice enough to invite us to their big gala dinner that they were holding, and they were going to have some rescue dogs at the thing, and they walked in with Sarah and another little Chiweenie dog, and I said to Mary, I think I want that dog. And Mary's
We used
like,
to do this all the time. Oh, can I get this one? Can I get this one? It's like, we're not going to bring another dog home.
Yeah.
So I was
Right.
like, yeah, go
But,
ahead.
yeah, go ahead. She always thinks I'm not going to follow through with things. So I talked to the
She
program.
thought she was safe.
I talked to
42
the
years
program
later, I should
director,
know
and
better.
I said, Terry, I think I want Sarah. She's like, really? And she just scooped her up and handed her to me. She's yours.
She's yours.
Take her away.
Here you go.
There was no process. We didn't have to sign any papers. It was
Oh,
here
that's
to-
awesome.
And she's the awesomest dog. She's so nice.
And I was just thinking, we're going to bring this dog home. Where am I going to put her? What are we going to do?
Yeah.
But so she's one of the dogs you have at the shop?
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Yes. We've never had little dogs, tiny little dogs. We never had small dogs. We always had big whomping
Big dogs,
And
yeah.
Now we've got these little weird
In a
creatures.
previous life, we owned a flower shop.
Oh, my
for
goodness, you-
almost 20 years.
Very careers.
And we had shop dogs there too, but
Yeah.
those were our big dogs. We
Right.
had an English Shepherd and a German Shepherd, and we had Sandy in the beginning, a little mixed dog.
A little golden
Sometimes you'll come
retriever.
in here and find our German Shepherd.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. We have two of them at home, but only one of them likes to actually
we
go
liked
out
you,
in public.
We liked you previously, but now you've gone up in esteem with us. Dog people all the way. Bring
we
your
have
dog to work.
We have a so you talk a lot about nonprofits, and you also run a nonprofit now.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So again, going back to the pandemic, I was furloughed, as so many people were, and lost their jobs. And I was getting kind of depressed, and I was scrolling Facebook, and I saw a local resident who was a musician and customer of ours was diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. And I said to myself, instead of sitting here feeling bad about yourself, you know how to raise money for people, why not get involved? So found her GoFundMe page, and I contacted good friends of ours, Nancy and Jerry Maloweski, who run Sunroom Songwriters.
Sunroom house concerts.
Up in Westover.
Sunroom series, yeah.
And I said, you know some musicians, let's try and put something together for this person. And we ran a 3-day virtual concert.
Oh, wow.
We had 21 different performers who all recorded music. We had local artists donate items for an auction. We had an online auction, and we raised an awful lot of money that weekend
awesome.
for her.
The person she's referring to, and I don't see why we can't mention her, became a super, super good friend of ours while she was sick. And I knew her previously before she was sick was Christine Havrilla. Are you familiar with her?
I'm not.
Singer-songwriter, one of the most talented people I ever met on the planet.
And one of the nicest people
Nicest
you will
people on the planet.
ever meet.
Her whole circle, her family, her friends, they're just top shelf sweet people. And anyway, that was the person that really got Mary going. You know, Mary said before her background is nonprofit.
Right.
She also worked for a huge environmental concern in New Jersey called the Hackensack Riverkeeper, which if you've ever been to the Meadowlands Giant Stadium area and the Hackensack River watershed, Mary's boss and her associates at Riverkeeper were responsible for suing everybody. They sued everybody, and they cleaned up the Meadowlands. They cleaned up the Hackensack. It's still an ongoing process. I mean, it was, so that's really where she cut her teeth with nonprofit. And go ahead, Mary. I'm sorry, but
okay.
I thought you should know a little bit of that.
Yeah, no, that's
background.
awesome.
Yeah.
So after doing that event, I realized that what I've always loved to do is help people and try and make the world a little better, one step at a time.
Makes my world better.
I try. So we formed the idea of putting together our own nonprofit. So a customer of ours, a law firm, Morris James LLP, their intellectual property department, got us started. They did pro bono work to get us off the ground and put all of our articles of incorporation together and really set us off. But we had a different name at the time because I was trying to separate the nonprofit from the business. So
I forgot all about this.
Yeah, so it had a different name. And I won't go. Should I go into the gory details on that or no?
Well, this, give them the Reader's Digest version. The original, it was kind of our slogan was
music happens at Frantic Frets.
Music
is what
happens.
We said.
The Music Happens Project, we called it.
And we received a cease and desist letter. We looked up the name.
We did all the due diligence.
But-
Even
Right.
the lawyers did too.
They trademarked the term as one word instead of two, so that's why it really never popped up in any kind of a search. So
There's a guy in D.C. who shall remain nameless,
but you can
who
look up
is
We know the name. I was
Who-
gonna say we know the name of
who
this.
turned out to own the rights to Music Happens, Project. Did he own Project?
No.
Music Happens was his thing, and we got a cease and desist
Oh, geez.
on that. And we looked the guy up, and I mean, he was doing nothing with it. First of all, our organization is. Our mission is for Delaware musicians, Delmarva region, but with a focus on southern Delaware. And he was in D.C.
Right.
And he was doing nothing.
amazing
with
that
it.
even
He
heard
just-
your name
he
came
was
up.
one of those
good
people
marketing.
that just scooped up a name and a domain and everything and bought it and was doing nothing with it. And we're like, we're not interfering with you in any
Right.
way. And we did do our due diligence, but just to make it go smoother.
Well, it's not worth getting involved in that
we
when your
dropped-
mission is something else.
And he cost us a lot of money because, we
had to rebrand
We had to do the whole thing all over again. And the lawyers, again, they were top drawer. They did their thing for us. But
So,
good grief.
Again, I go back to the drawing board, trying to think up of a new name, and I think one of the attorneys said, "Well, why don't you just call it Frantic
Right.
something?" So
Frantic
It's a known-
rears
it's a
its
known
head
quantity.
again.
yeah. And shortly after we changed the name, I had the new banners put together. We were in the Milton St. Patrick's Day parade, marching with our new banner and all our volunteers, and everybody's yelling "Frantic!" And then I realized, okay, I guess this
Yeah.
was what it was.
That was a
meant
good
to be.
idea.
So, I have this philosophy that sometimes things happen that may not be really good at the time, but it will lead you to the next step
Yep.
as long as you're willing to go through that door and see what's behind
See,
it.
here's the
very true.
divergence in our personalities a little bit. People always look at us like we're one person, but we are very divergent from one another, because when it was all done, when the smoke cleared and she rebranded the nonprofit, it was like, okay, we're done. Now I composed my poison pen letter to this guy down in D.C. And she was like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. I was
He
like,
may
"No,
have done
I
us
really-"
a favor.
Yeah, I would have, but see,
Yeah.
Mary's very good at talking me down from
We're
doing
good
things.
at talking each other down.
Yeah.
So I
Great,
have
though.
my moments.
Doing it, you
But
know.
now you're a known quantity on both sides. So you have the Frantic Music Project.
Correct.
And you have some events coming up.
We do. So
And this is all to raise money for the nonprofit,
for
correct?
the nonprofit, correct. So everybody does the gala dinners, the ones that we all get the tickets to as a sponsor. You hate to go to.
Gotta buy a new dress, gotta get the heels.
Yeah, so I got to spend money on things I don't want at the auction. So we decided, what could we do that would be a little more rock and roll? So I said we could do a guitar show, because there's not a real big guitar show in the state of Delaware. There's some small ones that shops put on from time to time, but we could do something big. And again, event planning was part of my background.
The big regional one is Philadelphia.
Philadelphia
And it's
is the
huge.
real big show. And I've done county festivals, town festivals, big galas, intimate dinners. So I'm like, not much different. So
Right.
we put together the first guitar show. We held it at the convention center in Rehoboth Beach.
Oh, neat.
And we had over 1,000 people come the first year. So
Did you expect that?
It was a home run.
that was kind of what I was hoping. Like, I have very realistic expectations when
Right.
it comes to planning events. I can usually, probably within less than 10%, tell you about how much money we're going to generate, how many people will come, and what the overall success will be of the event. And I was pretty darn close
Yeah.
on that one.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
It was a fantastic day, and it's not just one day, right?
it's
do
3 days.
3
And
days.
so, unfortunately, as much as we love having it in Rehoboth Beach, we've kind of outgrown the area, because if we're going to grow the event, we got to move. So we're going to the State Fairgrounds in Harrington.
Oh,
and
wow.
We're going to be in the exhibit hall this year, and it's March 27th to the 29th. And you can get tickets online at franticmusic.org, or you can call the shop, 302-402-3055. You can email me. Email contact is on the website, franticmusic.org, once again.
Or like I tell people at my gigs, it's like they want to know my social media or whatever, and I just go, Google Al Frantic, Milton, Delaware. If you Google Frantic anything, Milton, Delaware, it's going to point you at everything. Right?
Everything we do.
Mary maintains about 9 social media accounts.
Wow.
Right, 3 websites, and it's all there. It's all there. If you don't remember a specific URL or something, just Google it. You'll find us.
Google the Frantics and you'll find
And
us.
so your nonprofit has really focused on helping local musicians in times of need.
Yes. So Christine Havrilla was the first person,
one.
and we held 5 fundraisers for her.
Wow.
And we lost her just a little bit less than a year ago, and it's a devastating loss.
Havrillapalooza.
Havrillapalooza. And in 2024, we did a fundraiser for Saul Knopf's daughter-in-law. She and her husband and their bandmate were out in Utah traveling for music, and they had a devastating accident. She was in the hospital for months, and so we did a small fundraiser for them. And Junior Wilson, who a lot of people know in the music world, he's a musician and a luthier, much like Al. And
He's a legend. Junior's a legend. He was the go-to guy. I mean, and he
In
still
Kent
would
County.
be if he hadn't hurt himself. But you talk to musicians who, especially, not transplants like us. You talk to, real Sussex County musician people that have done it forever. You mentioned Junior Wilson's name, and they're just, he's the guy. He was the guy.
He took a fall and suffered severe brain trauma, and we did a big fundraiser for him at Nassau Valley Winery. And we've also donated items for music therapy programs. Basically, we try and stay very fluid with things. When a need arises, we want to be able to address it.
Sure.
So we were doing these one-off fundraisers. It's very taxing on me. Like, we've got a business to run. I manage his schedule, so I'm his booking agent and his roadie and the nonprofit. So we have to come to a balance where I can't do it all the time. So we're taking a little bit of time now to raise money for a general fund, and then when a musician comes to us in need, we can help them directly.
We cut them a
that
check.
way. Yeah,
Right.
Rather than doing these one-offs.
Just
So-
as soon as something happens, then you're like on emergency call, and
Yes.
so it's,
and we can get
that
you
makes a
money
lot of
very
sense.
quickly, because we have a very small board. We have Dr. John Patterson, who's our vice president, and Kathy Jordan, who is our secretary. And I've worked with Kathy for years. I knew her at the Historical Society, and they're both good local community people from Milton. So we can meet quickly and say, okay, let's disperse these funds right away. They need the money. So
So the guitar show is in Harrington, March 27th, and that's one of your fundraisers. And then you have
the big one.
the big one, which is
Al?
We're bringing the legendary seminal hard rock band that originated in the 1960s, Vanilla Fudge, which still includes, they're a 4-piece band, right? So still includes 3 of the original members except the bass player. So Vanilla Fudge is Vince Martell, Mark Stein. And the drummer's drummer, if you talk to drummers about rock star, big name drummers, the drummer for Vanilla Fudge is Carmine Appice. Mm-hmm. Heard of Carmine? Carmine, look him up. Carmine Appice is the guy that other drummers looked to. John Bonham looked to Carmine Appice, and he's still, I think, and there's controversy about how to say his name. Sometimes they say Appice, right? I think technically it's Appice, but I think Carmine doesn't mind if you call him Appice because everybody just saw the Vanilla Fudge album and read his name and said Appice.
Right.
And his brother, Vinny Appice, was even the drummer for Black Sabbath for a while. I mean, these are bona fide certified rock stars. Jimi Hendrix used to open for Vanilla Fudge. Led Zeppelin used to open for Vanilla Fudge, right? Not the other way around. So that's how big these guys really are. But now they're of a certain ripeness of age, right?
I like that ripeness.
That's why I looked at you guys and I'm like, you heard of him? And I was like, blink, blink. He heard of him. But see, of a certain ripeness of age, as I like to say. So that being said, we have a certain demographic in this area, which are guys, retiree, old gummers like me, who know exactly who these guys are. And I had a loose association with the band in that Pete Breamy, the current bass player, has been the bass player with them for many years now, who also stepped into the shoes of another enormous rock star who was Tim Bogert. And Tim Bogert was the original bass player for Vanilla Fudge. Played with Jeff Beck, played with countless other bands, a monster in the bass playing world. Right. He passed away a couple years ago. So I had a loose association with Pete, who actually filled in with my band a couple times up in Jersey. And in fact, the first time I played with him, I called my sister, who was 10 years older than me, who had the Vanilla Fudge album when I was a little kid. And she wore the grooves off of it. And I said, "You'll never guess who's playing bass for me with my band tonight." And she said, "Who?" I said, "The bass player from Vanilla Fudge." And there was like this silence on the other end of the phone.
She didn't believe you.
No, she didn't believe me. I was like, "Yeah." So I know Pete, and I reached out to Pete and said, "Mary and I are talking about bringing Vanilla Fudge down here to Delaware. Can you do it?" And Pete, Pete's a very modest guy and a real sweet guy, and he, reminded me that he's kind of like the hired gun. He is the bass player for Vanilla Fudge, but the three original guys, and so we had to go through their management agency, and it was at that point where I got the phone numbers. I handed it off to the genius here, and she started making phone calls and doing her thing. So now we're bringing Vanilla Fudge down to the convention center, and it's going to be a really cool thing. We got local hometown heroes, Lowercase Blues. You must have heard of Lowercase Blues. Are going to be the real opening act, and I'm going to be the teaser act opening for Lowercase Blues. So I'm going to come out and do a little bit of my acoustic thing and hand it off to Lowercase, and then the stars of the show are Vanilla Fudge.
That's so cool. And when is that happening?
So that is April 19th.
Okay. That's coming up quick.
It's coming up quick. And this is where like the hybrid of a business model and a nonprofit model kind of really show itself. So we're doing a VIP meet and greet. But as part of the VIP meet and greet, you also get food and beverages included in your ticket. The tickets for the VIP experience is $150. We have nice tables and chairs that you can sit at and enjoy the show, have somewhere to rest your drink. VIP tickets without the experience are $100, and general admission is $75.
All very reasonable.
All very reasonable. To see something
when you think about
like
what,
this. And I don't think, as far as I can tell, I don't think they've ever performed in Delaware outside of the 1960s when they performed at a high school.
Oh,
wow.
So this might be like the only show to come and see.
That is definitely a good marketing piece. The one and the only.
We were explaining the concert to a customer the other day who brought his son's guitar in for me to repair. And he saw the poster, and we said he was freaking out. And he's like, "Is it really those guys?" And we're like, "Yeah, it's Carmine Appice, and this guy's a drummer." And we thought we were going to have to revive him, right? We really did. That's
awesome.
How excited this guy got.
Yeah,
so that is wonderful.
So that's the other way we're looking to make money. And then throughout the year, you can find open mic events that we put on. We're working with Dogfish Head Everybody knows dogfish.
Dogfish, yes.
So
Some of us know it too well.
We all love dogfish.
we've gotten very close a few times. So we're doing the first Sunday of the month, March, April, and May. And also in the month of April, our nonprofit has been selected to be one of their beneficiaries. There's 3 different groups that all the tips from the Milton Brewery go in a pot, and they split that up amongst 3 nonprofits.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So
Yeah, if
April,
you were unaware, it's always that way with dogfish. Although you tip the servers, the bartenders, they do not take the tips themselves. They make a good salary. They're not reliant on tips, and all the tips always go to charity. But this process that Mary's
did not know
talking about
that.
is an especially good one, right?
That's great for us. It's the
Absolutely.
first time. And so the month of April, I expect you all to go drink and
Yes.
tip heavily.
Oh, darn.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
You're
I'll
twisting my arm again.
And on April the 19th, the same day, we're also working with them for a pop-up record store day at the inn.
Oh, yeah, in Lewis.
Yes. So we're going to have some volunteers there. It's the same day as our big show. So there's time to do both.
Great.
You can definitely do both. And at the end of the summer, we kind of close it out with a play music on the porch day. And part of our philosophy with the nonprofit is that just because you love what you do does not mean you should do it for free. And
It's a musician's curse.
it is. Musicians always get asked by organizations, "Oh, can you come and play our fundraiser
Right.
for free?"
For free.
And
Well, even some restaurants and bars are like, well, it'll be great exposure.
And exposure doesn't pay your rent. And we're in a little different category because we have a business, outperforms. We can usually afford to do it because for us, it's an advertising platform. But if you're a musician who goes out 6 nights a week and plays, and that's all you do, you cannot afford to play for free.
Right.
So the Play Music on the Porch, we have original singer-songwriters come, we vet them, and we pay each performer.
We do. We vet them.
I vet people all the time. Yeah.
No, we do.
So it's nice because people are getting to hear different music. And again, it's at our shop. It's a house concert. You bring your chair. We have a food truck. We also have local nonprofits set up tables. We have the Milton Community Food Pantry. They come down, they do a raffle basket, they collect items, they get volunteers for future use. This year, we're also going to have the Giving Cellar, which is another nonprofit in Milton that sets up a shop where you can go and select items that have been donated, and you can do this with dignity. And that's really what it's about,
Right.
is you may not be able to afford to buy that pan, but you can go to the Giving Cellar and you're not judged. It's like, you need it, somebody gave it, take it and use it and love it. And so we really try and bring the local community together whenever we
And
can.
how about our awesome lady friends from the Artists Collaboration?
And developing artist collaboration, right? Collaborative? I always get that wrong.
Collaboration. I always say collaborative. They use it.
Okay,
But
so-
they're in Rehoboth.
And the last 2 years, they've done a traveling bar. So they sell the beverages.
Oh, fun.
We get a gathering license and all that jazz. And they get to keep money for their mission. So it's really about supporting one another.
Yep.
A lot of nonprofits are siloed. They don't want to share with anybody. But their group might meet our group and then get involved. And people can give to more than one organization.
Right.
And that's what we hope for. And, if you're feeling charitable, March 6th, March 5th to the 6th is Do More 24. And we're going to be live there 4:30 on, I think, or 4:20 on the 6th. They're going to have a live broadcast going for 24 hours. So we're going to be one of the organizations on there.
You are not busy at all.
No. I'll sleep when I'm...
So outside of everything you have going on, what are some of your favorite things to do around here when you're not working in the business? Or
Fishing.
Yeah.
Fishing.
Good eateries.
Yes. So our big special occasion favorite place to go to is Harbor.
Okay.
Gary's a guitar
yeah.
player, so it's Even better.
Even better.
So we made the association with them.
Gary and Lorraine
But
are
when we
really
have
great.
Mary and I have a special event, anniversary, or birthday or something, that's our go-to.
our go-to.
Man, that is amazing.
And if you want to catch us in the morning, Crystal Restaurant in Rehoboth Beach is our go-to breakfast.
We're Jersey people, so like the Crystal Diner is maybe it's a stereotype or something, but Greek people run the best diners.
Great diners.
And every good diner in New Jersey is run by Greek people, and Crystal Diner is run by a Greek family, and it's like going back to Jersey paradise for us. Give me a BLT and some fries. Man.
And
That's great.
Of course, being in Milton, how could you not love the Milton Theater?
Right.
That's
Absolutely
so cool to have it in our backyard. And all the amenities that are in Milton is really what kind of drove us there. Being close to the beach, the great theater, which was really not so operational at the time.
Yep.
We looked down here, and all the local restaurants. So
our initial, we always say that we moved to Milton and we bought our property where we did was because Po' Boys was down there.
Yes, that is so true.
we're like,
so good.
This is not going to be good for our health.
Yeah, no.
And then Dogfish Head right there too.
Dog
right.
fishing. Oh, I have a story. It's much too long to get into
Yes.
about.
Yeah, that we'll save that for the next podcast.
Next podcast.
If you have us back, remind me. I'll tell you all about Dogfish Head. And
Well,
my-
for those of you listening, if you have not been to Milton, Milton is one of the sweetest towns. Lots of great places to visit, and now you can all visit Frantic Frets and meet Sarah
Sarah
and
and Little Dog.
Little Dog.
and Little Dog. So you better hurry so you can see both of them.
and our two koi fish in our little koi pond out back there.
my
I think
frogs.
we're afraid are frozen solid now. So we.
And if you have forgotten what all the events are, because that was quite a litany of events that are really raising money for a great cause. What is the website again?
It's franticmusic.org.
So not difficult to remember, except for just me not remembering it. But we will have that up on the podcast and on YouTube. And we are so thankful that you guys came in. It's so nice to get to know you. And we have more places to visit in Milton. We always learn something on these podcasts, don't we, Ryan? So thank you again. And for all you listeners, stay tuned. There will be more to come.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Whether you're looking to purchase your perfect beach getaway or retirement home, or it's time to sell your current home, the Real McCoy Group of Caldwell Banker Realty is ready to make your dreams a reality. Visit therealmccoygroup.com for more details. Find your happy place with the Real McCoy Group.